For most people around the world, Princess Leonor represents the future of the Spanish monarchy. Elegant, disciplined, and always composed, she has become one of Europe's most closely watched young royals. But behind the official photographs, public ceremonies, and carefully crafted appearances lies a story far more complicated than many realize. Throughout her life, Leonor has grown up surrounded by expectations, traditions, and occasional tensions that have quietly shaped her path toward the throne. The image presented to the public has always been one of unity. King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia have consistently emphasized stability and family values. Yet, as with many royal families throughout history, differences in personalities, generations, and approaches to monarchy have sometimes created friction behind palace walls. From the very beginning, Princess Leonor's future was unlike that of most children. Born in 2005, she entered a world where every decision, every educational choice, and every public appearance carried significance. When King Felipe ascended to the throne in 2014, Leonor officially became the heir presumptive. Overnight, the young princess found herself carrying responsibilities that few children could even imagine. As Leonor grew older, one of the greatest challenges facing the royal family became balancing tradition with modernization. Queen Letizia, who had worked as a journalist before marrying into royalty, often favored a more contemporary approach. She wanted her daughters to enjoy as normal a childhood as possible while still preparing for their future responsibilities. King Felipe, meanwhile, understood the importance of preserving centuries-old traditions. As someone who had himself grown up within the royal institution, he recognized that maintaining continuity was essential for the monarchy's survival. Although both parents shared the same ultimate goal, protecting their daughters and securing the future of the crown, their approaches occasionally reflected different experiences and perspectives. Observers and royal commentators have frequently discussed reports of tensions involving various branches of the family. The Spanish royal family has experienced difficult periods over the years, particularly following controversies that affected public confidence in the monarchy. These events placed additional pressure on King Felipe to restore trust and redefine the institution for a new generation. In the midst of these broader challenges stood Princess Leonor, a young woman whose every move attracted national attention. Unlike many teenagers, she had little opportunity to make mistakes privately. Her education, friendships, and personal development unfolded under intense scrutiny. One particularly sensitive issue involved the role of former King Juan Carlos I. Once celebrated for helping guide Spain's transition to democracy, his later years became overshadowed by controversies that generated significant public debate. These developments forced King Felipe to make difficult decisions aimed at protecting the credibility of the monarchy. For Leonor, this situation highlighted an important lesson. She was learning that being a future queen involved not only privilege but also sacrifice. Reputation, public trust, and duty would always remain central to her responsibilities. Meanwhile, Queen Letizia focused heavily on preparing her daughter for modern leadership. Reports often described her as deeply involved in Leonor's education and public image. As a mother, Letizia sought to ensure that her daughter developed confidence and independence. At the same time, she understood the importance of maintaining discipline and respecting royal traditions. This balancing act was not always easy. Every decision surrounding Leonor, from her schooling to her public engagements, became the subject of media speculation. Some commentators argued that the family was too protective. Others believed the princess needed greater exposure to public life. Navigating these conflicting opinions required careful judgment from both parents. As Leonor matured, she gradually stepped into a more visible role. Her speeches drew praise for their poise and maturity. Whether addressing audiences during the Princess of Asturias Awards or participating in official ceremonies, she demonstrated increasing confidence and professionalism. Yet these moments also underscored the enormous expectations placed upon her shoulders. Spain's future queen faced a challenge unique to constitutional monarchies, remaining relevant in a rapidly changing society. Public opinion could shift quickly, and maintaining support required constant dedication. Behind the scenes, many of the tensions surrounding Leonor were not necessarily dramatic confrontations but rather differences in vision and priorities. Such disagreements are common in families, especially those operating under extraordinary pressure. Within royal households, however, even ordinary family matters can become national conversations. Another major chapter in Leonor's life came with her education abroad. Her time at UWC Atlantic College in Wales represented an important step toward independence. Living away from Spain allowed her to experience a more international environment and interact with students from diverse backgrounds. The decision was widely seen as part of a broader effort to prepare her for future leadership. It also reflected Queen Letizia and King Philippe's desire to provide their daughter with experiences beyond palace life. While Leonor continued fulfilling royal duties, she also gained valuable perspectives that would likely influence her approach as a future queen. Following her graduation, Leonor embarked on military training, a tradition long associated with Spanish monarchs. The move symbolized continuity and commitment to service. Images of the princess participating in demanding exercises demonstrated her willingness to embrace responsibilities that came with her position. For many Spaniards, these moments reinforced confidence in the monarchy's future. Leonor appeared determined to honor tradition while adapting to contemporary expectations. Her calm demeanor and disciplined approach earned admiration both at home and abroad. Still, life under constant observation came with emotional challenges. Every smile, gesture, and appearance generated headlines. Rumors and speculation often spread rapidly, creating narratives that were impossible to control. Maintaining privacy became increasingly difficult. Throughout these experiences, Queen Letizia and King Felipe remained committed to shielding their daughters from unnecessary pressures. Despite occasional reports of internal disagreements or tensions within the wider royal family, their shared focus on Leonor's future never appeared to waver. Royal experts frequently note that monarchies survive through adaptation. Spain's royal family understands this reality well. The institution has faced numerous tests throughout its history, and each generation has had to respond to changing circumstances. For Princess Leonor, the challenge lies in preserving tradition while embracing the expectations of 21st-century society. The so-called untold feud surrounding her life may not be a tale of dramatic battles or bitter rivalries. Instead, it reflects the complexities that arise when family relationships intersect with national responsibilities. Questions about image, modernization, and tradition have all influenced the environment in which Leonor has grown up. What remains clear is that the young princess has spent her entire life preparing for a destiny she never chose. Unlike most people, she cannot simply walk away from expectations or redefine her path without consequences. Duty has always been part of her identity. Despite the pressures and occasional controversies surrounding the monarchy, Leonor continues to project stability and confidence. Those who follow the royal family closely believe she represents a new generation capable of connecting with modern Spain while respecting its historical traditions. As she moves closer to the day when she may eventually become queen, interest in her life will only continue to grow. Questions about the monarchy's future, the influence of her parents, and the legacy of previous generations will remain subjects of discussion. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Princess Leonor's story is not the rumors, the speculation, or the alleged feuds. It is the resilience she has displayed while growing up in one of the most demanding roles imaginable. Every step she takes is watched by millions. Every achievement carries symbolic importance. And through it all, Princess Leonor continues her journey with quiet determination, aware that the future of the Spanish monarchy may one day rest upon her shoulders. Whether the challenges behind palace walls strengthen or complicate her path remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the untold story behind Princess Leonor's life is not simply about royal disagreements. It is about duty, sacrifice, family, and the immense responsibility of preparing to become Spain's future queen. Only time will reveal how these experiences shape the woman she ultimately becomes. Until then, the world will continue watching, fascinated by the life of a young princess whose destiny has already been written by history, yet whose future remains uniquely her own.